In a world where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence, there is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. All those F's, that's an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is a curious listener. Here she is, Chris.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Curious. Welcome to Romper Room. Curious Times. Oh, there's the beautiful poinsettia. And my guest tonight is this lovely poinsettia with the fiber optics from Sears. From Home Depot. That is beautiful, actually. I get that, and then I put that, and I don't have to be on camera all the way till Christmas. Can we ask the point? Yes, let's do poinsettia readings. Poinsettia readings. Poinsettia readings at Curious Times. Be a good idea. So the question is, what is Santa bringing you? Oh, I see a dark spot there. Lump of coal. Lump of coal. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. It looks really cool when she moves the plant. We should do some mushrooms, and then that's kind of a joke based upon our chat. Alrighty then, people. So welcome to Curious Times. It's Tuesday. Oh. December 6th. Shame on me. Shame on me. So this is in Canada. It's the day of mourning, and it's to remember all the women that were murdered by this guy whose name I do not want to mention at the L'École Polytechnique, the massacre. And the guy was refused entry into an engineering program, and he just went ape craziness, and he proof that this kind of thing does happen in Canada. It's just significantly much more rare than in the United States. And so he went and shot up. He singled out women. He would go into classrooms and tell the men to leave, and L'École Polytechnique, and tell the women, the men to leave and keep the women, and then murdered the women. And so every year there's a usually in most larger cities there's like some events commemorating, remembering. There's a lot of other things that came up as a result of it, like a men's movement, which was for men. It was a white ribbon campaign, and they would make a pledge to not, abuse women, etc. And so he killed like 14 women and all this kind of thing. And so it was there was a movie on it and everything else like this, but he was refused entry into an engineering program, and he didn't feel that women had any place being in this kind of a program. It was in 1989. I mean, it wasn't like it was in the 60s or anything like that. And so anyway, I usually a lot more on top of it, and I actually did when I was in my business admin program, I think it was business communications or something. We had to do a presentation that the aim was to convince somebody to do something, and so I did a presentation on this, and for each of the, I did a PowerPoint and everything, and actually had like the sound effects of gunshot 14 times, bang, 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 and all this, pretty powerful. And then I had like taken a big, huge amount of paper and taped, so a bunch of sheets of paper, and taped them together, and there, actually I might have printed out all the names. I can't remember. It was long ago. And then I rolled it all up like this. And it was to say how many women have been, killed in domestic violence. And so then at that time, it wasn't domestic violence, just it was all violence against women, because we had the women, a lot of prostitutes, Native women, that not meant to be together like that, but I'm saying like that went missing, almost like didn't you guys have like a whole bunch along a highway or something like that? And so similar here, and nobody seems to care, you know what I mean, when it's either a minority group or seems to be high risk, that kind. So anyway, I like at the right time, like the highway of tears, I went like this, and the whole thing dropped well down below to the ground. It was that long of a list of women. And so anyway, point is, I haven't been paying attention to the dates lately, so I just realized now it was the 6th, and so shame on me for forgetting that. One time, and my whole presentation was that the program that I was taking my business admin program through, an accounting program through, that they would incorporate December 6th activities into the program and take time away from that day to go and participate in some of the marches and or events. And so I, once upon a time, donated quite a large amount of money to they were building a park. And so I donated quite a lot of money to that and everything like this. And I took, as part of this presentation, everything like this, some of the women in my course, we had women from like young, like 18, all the way up into their near 60s in my class. And so some of them wanted to come. They didn't know about this and everything. So I took them to this park where there's usually there's usually sort of like speeches and all of this, and then a march to the park and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, by the time we get there, there's some Indians sitting in there getting drunk in this little park. I lost my effing mind because they had bottles strewn about, and I shocked myself because I normally wouldn't do this. And I just like lost it, and I just like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You got no fucking respect. And meanwhile, I kicked one of the booze bottles, like so hard that it just was launched. And these guys were, whoa, and they were apologizing, and they got out of Dodge, man. And they were very, very, apologetic. And even though they were drunk, I was expecting quite actually a different reaction, but apparently my response to them was emotional enough and angry enough that they decided not to want to mess with me that day. And so anyway, December 6th, not a nice day in Canadian history. And but some good things did come out of it. And that one of those was the movement among the men to go ahead and start making pledges and promises. And so when you would see a man wearing the white ribbon, you knew then that he had made the promise, you know what I mean, to not abuse women. And so anyway, there you go. So Lisa's here. Sorry, Lisa, to make you wait and listen through all of that. Lisa is, of course, our trance-channel and psychic medium, and then an avid book reader. And she uses all the clairs to do her job and then some. And when she's channeling, she sort of like vacates her body and allows the entities to come in and borrow her voice and whatnot to deliver messages to us here, us simple human beings. And so if you want to find out more about Lisa and all the things that she does, because she does house clearing, like, I think she still does that. Anyway, well, oh no, she doesn't do that anymore. That's right, I remember. Like, it was. You can go see Kathleen Moore for any house clearings you need. And so anyway, go to www.lisanoland.com. Here comes Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Hallelujah. That's the first freaking time. Oh!
Like months, right? That just proves the user error all these months.
That's a very pretty poinsettia.
Isn't that gorgeous? She's sitting in the corner right now. It's my mom's, and she's had two for, like years. They're like 15, 20 years old. And so when I went down there a couple of weeks ago, I helped her put up 4 Christmas trees. And I'm like, that's a lot of Christmas festivity. And I said, I don't know if I'm going to get a tree up this year. And she was only using one of them. I said, can I just take your poinsettia plant in case I don't get my tree up? And it's just so beautiful. I just think that's just what I'm going to use. And then I have a little Martha Stewart tree that I took from her, because my mom's got, like, I swear to God, she's got like 10 Christmas trees, but we got 4 up this year. And a really small house. I'm not talking like no big house. This is a very small house. But the Martha Stewart tree stands like 2 or 3 feet tall, and it's real skinny, kind of like a Charlie Brown tree, and it's got these little pine cones on it. So if I get anything up, it'll probably be that, because where we live, when I moved in this condo, it was just me, and there's a detached garage that has an attic space over it. Well, when I met Patrick, we moved all his stuff into here. He sold his house. So the garage is basically just like storage for all of his woodworking equipment and 3 kayaks. So we would have to take a kayak down, move all the stuff out of the way to pull the trapdoor down to get up into the attic. And it's like, I think the poinsettia plant's just going to be just fine. Instead of having to go through all that to get the tree down. It's like, what, to put 2 presents under it? I don't know. Like, the older I get, the less I want the hassle of just all that, But I love going out and looking at lights. So, like, tomorrow night, Patrick and I, it's date night. For Wednesdays are date nights. So the Columbus Zoo puts on Winter Wonderland Wild Lights, they call it. It's absolutely magnificent. So we're going to go over there and just walk around and look at the lights and check out the animals. And, obviously not all the exhibits are open, but the ones that are, you can walk in and get warm. And I think it's supposed to be like 28 degrees here tomorrow night, which isn't too bad because you'll be walking,
Yeah.
But they have this beautiful pond, and they have lights on all the trees around the pond. And then every half hour, it's kind of like the Bellagio. Every half hour they play music, and instead of a water fountain going, the lights go to a certain song, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's magical.
Almost like the what do they call those ones? The orchestra. That runs around
Trans-Siberia.
Trans-Siberia. Trans-Siberia Light Orchestra.
Yeah, I haven't been to see that. I've never been to see that. It comes to Columbus every year, and I've just never been to see it.
Yeah, they got some pretty good songs.
I should look that up. Trans-Siberia, something like that, right? Orchestra.
Trans-Siberian Light Orchestra, I believe.
I'm just curious. Okay, so they're coming to Nationwide Arena here in Columbus, and I'm going to just take a look at what the prices are. They're only here 2 times. Oh, they're only here one day. They're doing a 4 o'clock and an 8 o'clock. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't been to see it. The cheapest ticket is $67, and it's in nosebleed.
Jesus, eh?
Yeah, that's probably why I haven't been. And I seen it.
Yeah.
And our arena here, I mean, literally, you feel like you're sitting, looking like you're aiming down. Like it's so steep. It freaks me the hell out. So I can't sit up that high. And the next cheapest is $79. It goes all the way up to $270. That must be really super close. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay it myself. You know what I mean? I would choose to eat or something over that.
Choose to eat.
Go see them at nearest www.youtube.com.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I would love somebody to gift them to me, though. If there's anyone out there that wants me to have that experience, I'll be more than happy to.
So this is it. This is, wait a minute, cotton picking second. This is it before, oh no, it's not. We see you one more time before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but they're just even just going to the zoo, it's going to cost, well, you know what, I could look that up too, but I think it's like $24 a person or something just to, I'd rather go to the zoo than I would, I have a hard time being in large crowds of people that I can't get out of. Does that make sense? So if I'm at the zoo, at least we're going during the week, so there's not going to be a lot of people. But you go to a concert, and then you get in, and you're like the 13th person in, and then everybody's got to stand up because they make them for people that's butts are like 13 inches wide. Mine's like way bigger than that. So then you're all squished in this little tiny stadium seat. You've got no room for your knees. Your knees are hitting the back of the head of the person in front of you, and it's like, God, no. I'll just get a DVD and watch it in the comfiness of my own home.
Was your family in the same, general location? Do you have to travel far? Do you guys spend Christmas together? What do you do?
Yeah, we'll spend Christmas together. They're in a little town called Dresden. My parents are, which is 60 miles east of me. And then Patrick's family is about a 2-hour drive from Columbus in a Tuscarawas County area. It's up around Canton, Ohio. So we're going to see my parents on the Friday the 23rd, and then it's still to be determined when we're going to drive up to his family's house. But so we'll be doing all the driving and going to everybody else's houses this year.
Did you have a big event recently or one coming up?
We had a huge one a few weeks ago. We went to, it was the weekend before Thanksgiving. We went down to Cincinnati. It's a big show that's done twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be what you're thinking about. Maybe, have I talked to you before?
Well, there was one recently that I thought Kathleen Moore was talking about going to, and I thought
that
maybe
one.
you guys would. Is that the one?
That's the one.
That's
the one.
And you went, and did you see her there this time?
No, I don't think so. No one came up. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the same event then. Maybe there's another one. There's another one you didn't go to that she went to. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There was one this past weekend in Columbus, but we didn't participate.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's probably the one.
Just this past weekend?
Yeah, probably that's the one. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, another year, I guess you guys will meet maybe. You guys live in the same.
Didn't she live? Yeah, same state.
Yeah.
Same state. Yeah. I'm remembering. I'm pretty sure. Why am I thinking it was down in Cincinnati though that she was going to be and she was going to stop by? If she stopped by on Saturday.
Well, there was the one a year ago where. What was the event a year ago where you were just too busy. So many people waiting, booked to see you, and she did. Yeah, same one?
Same
that
location.
Must be the one.
Yeah, it's a fantastic event for us. Like Saturday, I think I had room for 29 readings, and I did 27. So there was just no time. I didn't take a lunch or a dinner break, and I think I peed twice. It's just one of those things where you just pound through it, and it just, by the end of the day, you're like, wow, that day just flew by, Then go to dinner, and then you start crashing about halfway through dinner because you realize, wow, I'm really tired.
So I've been feeling really out of my mind ever since really the election. I'm not talking about politics, but I'm just saying and lately in my show, ever since the election, I have had an unprecedented number of cancellations due to illness and people not feeling well.
Hey, let's talk about that. Because just tonight, I told my husband, last week I was sick. I started getting sick on Sunday, and I still kind of have a raspy throat, and I haven't coughed at all today, but it's just I feel like I'm still nasally and everything. And so Thanksgiving was Thursday. By Sunday evening, I was starting to get a sore throat, and I was sick last week. By Thursday, was it Thursday? I had to cancel going to the shop because I just couldn't even get out of bed. But then when I was looking at Facebook, it seems like everybody was sick. Even now, everybody's sick. And I'm like, I told Patrick tonight as he was going to bed, I'm like, this just seems really odd to me that there's just this wave of sickness just hit everybody all at the same time. It's like, what did they do? What did they release? What did they do that just sent everybody into this decline? I wouldn't put it past them.
Some people maybe got the flu. Other people just didn't feel good in general. Other people had headaches. Other people had, you know what I mean? We're just tired. it wasn't that everybody was down with the same thing, and but in general, like everything seems to be a little bit fucked up ever since the election. Sure, like really.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
No, and it kind of.
I have been exhausted. Like exhausted. Like slept until noon yesterday, slept until 11 today, and people, this is me going to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then sleeping till noon the next day. Exhausted. Doesn't make sense. I'm like zero motivation. Don't want to do anything. Just bleh. And maybe it's the winter blues, but it's not really winter, but it's cold here and it was raining all day. You know, yes, it gets dark really early. You know, by 5:30 it's dark, and oh no, and Amy twisted her ankle, which makes me sad. You know, so it's but even with my assistance of the tea that I've been drinking at night with a little bit of an herb in it, it's not even helping. Like I'm having really restless nights of sleep, so it's not even like when I'm sleeping I'm restless. You know, I'm tossing and turning all night long. So I don't know. If anybody's got some advice, I'd love it. Now, 2 weeks ago, before I got sick, it was right before Thanksgiving. There's a gal here that is a dear friend of mine, and she's an iridologist and she's a doctor of naturopath. I finally broke down and said, okay, I'm going to pay for you. I'm going to pay to come see you. And she took pictures of my eyes, and she, you know, blew them up on her computer screen and you know, walked me through all the different, you know, segments in your eyes that correlate to different parts of your body or different things that are going on. And so I'm on just a shit ton of different supplements, trying to get this turned around so that I feel better. You know, and I know this isn't something that was created overnight, and I'm, you know, in my fucking 50s now, but still, I want to feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to feel better. So I'm on like a liquid.
Well, I want it to be one way or the other. Like either put me out of my misery, right? Or like let me feel better. You know, like either one is okay with me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, earlier today I was like, I just got hit by this crazy, you know, like I guess I should like seriously like I should really start to get through and get rid of just junk and crap around here or anything I wouldn't want, you know, found after I die. You know what I mean? And I'm all like, you know,
but what are you going to care when you're dead? What are you absolutely going to care when they find?
No, I know, but that's like what's wrong.
Things.
You know, don't ask me to make any sense out of that. You know what I mean? And I mean, I also just don't want like it's just going to be some stranger anyway. That's going to probably some guardian. Government will appoint some guardian who will come in here and try, you know, throw everything out, I guess. You know what I mean? And that kind of thing. And so it's all about like I don't want to make it be a hassle for anybody. You know what I mean? But then I'm all like, I suffered enough in life. I don't want to suffer in death. You know what I mean? So just whatever it is time for me to go, could we please just have a really quick, nice, easy, you know what I mean, way to go. And but it was kind of a weird, and I actually got up, grabbed a garbage bag, started like tossing shit in, and almost like when women are getting ready to have a baby, they start nesting or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of a weird, and it just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It just came out of nowhere. It's not like that I was sitting here, lingering in thought or anything. Like all of a sudden this just went, and it was like boom, boom, and before you know it, I'm like, garbage bag, let's go. And, you know, I mean, I wore out. I'm tired too. You know what I mean? I'm really effing tired. And so you know, I didn't last long, but I got some stuff done, hey? And, but so I'm just, you know, maybe I'm having a precog thing going on. And, but yeah, like, I mean, I'm all like, I'm not worried about dying or anything like that. But I am saying to the universe. So I'm manifesting this, which is to say, I suffered enough in life and I'm not going to suffer in death. You know what I mean? It's the least you could do for me. The least you could
Well, there's enough of us that can talk to you, right? You got a whole entourage of people that are going to be able to share your message with you from the afterlife. Just don't haunt me. You can.
I'll be busier. Oh, believe me, there'll be people I will haunt. Mind you, you know what I mean? That's just in my earth, low vibrating, lower self thinking. Hey?
Yeah.
And I imagine that when I'm dead and gone, the last thing that'll be on my mind is who can I go and extract, you know, who can I go and make suffer, you know? I really don't think that I'll care much, and I'll be in a higher vibrational, I'll be good, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I don't imagine, but I will have many people to communicate with, and I'll have fun going to people's radio shows and dropping F-bombs and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
EVPs, they'll be catching EVPs of you.
EVPs. Well, that's how people will know it's me, is it'll be like you'll hear curse words and then A. It'll be like, fuck you, A. Okay, that's Chris. That must be Chris. And it'll be validated by the A. And so.
So I just watched I know I've seen it before. It was years ago. The skull experiment. You ever seen that documentary on the skull experiment? SCOLE.
I don't know. You'll have to start. And then I'll go.
It's about, I want to say it took place in England? England? Skull experiment group. Okay, now there's some things saying it was fraud. Of course they're going to say it was fraud. No, the skull experiment. Oh, that's not a good. Skull Afterlife 101 skull experiment. Skull experiment history. It's a good one that. It was a 5-year investigation into life after death. Beginning in 1993, 4 psychic researchers embarked on a series of experiments in Norfolk village of Skull. The subsequent events were so astounding that the senior members of the prestigious Society for Psychic Research asked to observe, test, and record what took place. Those who attended the sessions at Skull came away convinced that disincarnated intelligences were making direct contact with them. The incontrovertible evidence they witnessed included handwriting, symbols, and messages which appeared on factory-sealed, unopened photographic film, objects, lights, and solid beings which materialized before previously skeptical observers. Spirits who communicated instructions for building a complex, instruments, and communication devices, and personal information about these present, which was revealed to the group by disincarnate intelligences. So they did this, they had people that were really skeptical and said, okay, because they had these rolls of film that they were getting messages written on, like full-blown messages and all this stuff. So then the skeptics would say, okay, I'm going to come in, but I'm the one bringing the roll of film in, and I'm the one that's going to put it in this secure box and I'm going to put the box right in front of me so that nobody can take the box and swap the box out and swap it out for, and the images would still be produced on that film, even though the skeptic is the one who brought it in. It's really interesting, whether it's a hoax or not. It's just fascinating. And they had things that like dropped in seemingly out of nowhere. Like they had these people that went in and were videotaping, and they were told to turn the videotape off, and they said they did, but they really didn't. And then they show the table levitating, and everybody's hands, like table tipping, everybody's hands were on the table, and the table was like levitating, and you could see like all these lights and these orbs just zipping all over the place, and it was really interesting. It was on, well, of course, I love Gaia TV. So if you have Gaia TV, the video is on there. It's Investigations of the Afterlife, I think is what it's called, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating stuff. I don't know why I got on that topic, but Gaia TV is it's internet based. So it's just you just type in www.gaia.com, I believe is the hang on a second. Yeah, GAIA.com. Oh my gosh, it is so worth the money every month. It is just so worth it. They have just hundreds of different programs that you can watch, and there's movies, and especially if you're into like disclosure type stuff. David Wilcock has Cosmic Disclosures. There's a woman named Regina Meredith that has just tons and tons of different interviews with different people. Who's the guy? George Norrie. He's on there. There's lots of things with like, some of the main.
Wasn't that the guy that, who was the guy that totally set you up, Lisa? Remember the radio guy?
Oh, yeah, no. That guy was from
Canada.
That guy was from Canada somewhere.
Yeah. Very un-Canadian thing that he did to you.
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah, he was horrible. I can't even think of the guy's name now.
Not even worth mentioning. Not even worth mentioning. No.
I don't want to mention him, but yeah, he was horrible. And then he did it to a friend of mine too that was on his show, and he went in and he added people throwing up in like a toilet bowl kind of sounds and stuff like that with the commercial breaks, where people throwing up in a toilet, stuff like that. I'm like, you're just a jerk. And don't have people on and do stuff like that. That's just awful. Yes, that's me judging, but it was just very mean. Very mean. And yeah, Gaia TV is really cool stuff. My husband pays for it for us, but you can get, I want to say it's a 7-day free trial just to check it out, and then just go and cancel it if you don't like it. But when I was cleaning today, I was up in my bedroom, so I just took my computer upstairs while I was trying to clean out my closet and watched I just listened to 4 or 5 episodes of Cosmic Disclosure. And it's just cool stuff, whether you believe in it or not, or, use discernment on everything you hear, right? But it was just really good. So, but that's where I watched the Skull Experiment documentary. It's been on regular TV because back when we had cable, I know I watched it several years ago, but I was excited to see that it came on. And then also on Gaia, they have lots of yoga stuff too. So if you're really into spiritual, like health and wellness, there's a lot of health and wellness programs on there too. And there's people like my recent person that I'm all over following is Brain Fog. Joe Dispenza. I was like, I'm just all over following this guy. Yep, can't think of his name. Joe Dispenza. So he's got a lot of interviews on there, and it's just good stuff, good programming.
Awesome.
Better than regular TV, because you're at least learning something.
It's going to be one of those things I may not remember until I see it. Know whether I've seen that before. That skull experiment you're talking about. So I wrote that down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Investigations in the Afterlife, I think it's called. Investigations of the Afterlife. And then they also have a guy on there that had like a ham radio that wasn't connected to anything, and he was getting EVPs through it. So that was really cool. Yeah, because I know how much you like EVPs. So it was really, really cool. It's cool stuff, you know?
Very cool. Very cool. So, what is going on, you guys? Gonna call her night and let these go get rest, or did you guys want to know anything, or what do you want? What do you people want to do? I'm gonna play a song. You guys can figure this out. And we had enough small talk. We had enough small talk. We don't want to just talk just to waste, right, Lisa?
Yeah, I don't want to bore you guys.
No, it's not about that. But I mean, if we can talk about something they want, or they have questions or anything like, then that's cool. I'm happy to. You know what I mean? If you have
questions or want to, come online and talk about something with us, that would be great. It's encouraged.
Yeah. Yes, highly encouraged. And so anyway, I'm going to toss on a song of some kind. And what should it be? Crazy. Here. This is 6 minutes. Here we go. All right. There. We have our little...
Are you looking for a place to meet like-minded people? Perhaps you're a light worker looking for a safe place to share your thoughts and services. We've got a place for you. IntuiTalks.com. Join for free, post updates, blogs, create and join groups via website or radio or class package. The possibilities are endless. Join the all-spiritual, all-under-one-roof network, www.intuitalks.com.
All right. There we go. I'm back. So I don't see anybody getting all excited, Lisa.
Okay.
So maybe we could get out of here a little bit early. And so we do see you one more time before Christmas.
Yeah.
That's good. And so I thank you. I know you're tired and probably, would have rather gone straight to bed, but I appreciate that you came, and I always enjoy having a yak with you, you know what I mean? And so...
Oh, yeah. And I know you're tired, too, so... And I'll work on having something fun to talk about by next time.
And you know what? Even whatever it is, I always learn something whenever you drop by, and it's good. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and you guys can find Lisa's website at www.lisanoland.com. And it's going to be time for Lisa to write a book one of those days,
Oh, yeah. I see that in other people. I don't necessarily see it in myself, but I've been told there's something in there, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not the best at grammar and stuff. You know what I mean? And usually I can see it in everyone else, and everyone has a story, and I encourage everyone to write whatever their heart is telling them to write. But for me, I think it has to do with, and this is just me being raw and real, it's still those feelings of inadequacy. Who would read it? Why me? Would it be good enough? All those kinds of things. And it's easier not to write one than to have to face the egos being bruised of, nobody buying it and having copies that I, 5 years later I just need to burn because they're not going anywhere. So that's probably my biggest reason for not doing it. I have a friend of mine who I'm going to be interviewing on Monday for a cover of a magazine that just wrote a book, but it took her 5 years to do it, and this was after 3 rewrites. She wrote it and then threw that copy away and then would write it again. So it's, so I know it's, and she really, her ego really beat her up too about, putting something out and putting herself out there. It's putting yourself out there with your opinion, and then now your name's on it in written form, and it's like, but yeah. There's stuff I've thought about, but I feel like there's pieces missing still that, even if I did write it, I couldn't publish it because there's pieces I haven't experienced that would be necessary to make it complete.
That would put the exclamation point on it all. And so,
to be the ... right? Maybe it's a ... to be continued. ...
Okay. We're out of here then, Lisa, so I thank you so much, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time, and you take it easy, okay?
All right, guys. Good night, everyone. Thanks.
And for the rest of you guys, tomorrow it's Barbara DeLong, so it'll be your last chance to get a reading from Barbara DeLong before the end of the year. And so there you go. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see you next time tomorrow, hopefully. 3, 2, 1. See you guys. See you guys. See ya.